Center. This is my husband, Eric.
Hello.
Krystal, Dog Psychology and Training Center. We are broadcasting to you live from our new Facebook Live time.
We got our new time slot. Don't ask us how we did it. We couldn't tell you.
We're hoping that this will be more convenient for those families that missed out because they were working. So this is for you. Today's topic is a fun one. It's one that we get asked a lot through passing or when we have people call us for consults. And the question is, does my unruly dog need a playmate? Not to scare you, but the answer is no. No. Monkey see, monkey do. Dogs are very much visual learners, and they will see what the other dog's doing, and they will replicate it to get the same negative attention that dog is getting, and it will just make you pull your hair out.
This is driving me nuts. I'm sorry.
Twice as much. Don't do it, and here's why.
Look, can I say something?
Say it.
Has anyone ever thought, does my unruly child need a playmate? Should I have another kid because I can't manage the one that I have? Yes, I'm sure people have thought that. Was it a good idea? Probably not. Like, yes, you'll have those, those moments where your kids will entertain themselves for a little while and they don't need as much attention as one child would. But that little bit of time that you get freedom does not, in my opinion, account for all the times when you feel like you just smashed your face into a wall. I'm just saying, so...
Parent life.
I mean, I would say it's kind of similar with getting a second dog. Like, there's going to be those times where, yeah, they're playing together and cool. Like, I don't have to be on the other end of that tug. But for the most part, you're going to be wondering, what in the world was I thinking?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, why?
Why?
Why is it not a good idea? Why doesn't it work? Well, I think the issue goes back to, I don't like pointing fingers, because when you point a finger, you got some fingers pointing back at yourself, but there is a huge miscommunication that happens between dogs and their owners. And if you can't communicate to the one dog, not because you're not trying, it's always because you just don't know how to speak dog. That's why we're here. Professionals speak dog very well. So when you have that miscommunication between your dog, you're speaking human, your dog's speaking dog, you're not getting the results you want, and you add another dog to it, it's kind of like if you were to host a foreign exchange student, but you didn't even attempt to learn their language. And you thought, well, let's just get two. There's still going to be twice the amount of miscommunication. Yeah, they may entertain each other for a little bit, but when they need something from you, or you need to intervene because maybe they're, bickering, or, things are getting a little out of hand, you're not going to know how to do that, and it's going to be twice as frustrating. So
before you get a second exchange student, learn the language.
Learn the
language. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's very similar. I always joke that living with a toddler is like living with a foreign exchange student. They know English, but they make up their own as they go. But it's kind of the same for dogs. Dogs have the IQ of a 2-year-old. So think about, having a being that doesn't speak your language, and then having the irrational IQ of a 2-year-old. Like, who doesn't want to pull their hair out just thinking about that? So the only time we ever suggest or recommend adding a second dog is if you have a dog who's very introverted, very shy and laid back, more of a wallflower personality, and you entertain a lot.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of people coming over to your house, that's not an ideal situation for that dog, and that is a lot of heat, a lot of pressure on that one dog if you don't have any other dogs, because people in America, it's different than other cultures or other countries. People in America see another dog and they think it's their right to go up and touch it and pet it. So when you have somebody come to your house, they think, I'm going to love on their dog. And part of the thing is they think that that's what you want. And they feel like if I ignore this dog, I'll offend the host. And so they intentionally give it that attention that the dog does not want and you don't really want, but they just don't know any better. And so it's just those social awkward settings of what's what's allowed, what isn't allowed, what's expected, what's not expected, that people we don't know, and we don't always openly communicate as clearly as we need to. So the only time we recommend adding a second dog is if you have that dog is very fearful, not fear aggressive. That's a whole nother can of worms, so don't get another dog if your dog's fear aggressive. But if your dog is just that kind of laid back, wallflower that when you have company, he tries to hide and go into a different room or disappear, then maybe adding a second dog would help with that. And we had a similar situation with our dog, Castor. There he is, right behind us. That's a painting I did of him, 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
I thought that was a real picture. She had me fooled.
The tongue is very accurate, though. I spent like 2 hours on the tongue because I don't know why I'm weird. But his brundle splotching, not good. Anyways, he was a dog that we got. He was a hot mess. I feel like it was God's gift to us to help us be better people and better dog trainers because he was an experience.
Yeah.
But he was not a bad dog, but he was a fearful dog, and he loved other dogs, but he did not care for people. Not that he was aggressive, he just wasn't a people dog. Our schnauzer, our miniature schnauzer, he is a people dog. Other dogs come over, and he's not aggressive with them. He just doesn't want to play with them. He's like,
Kind of like, nah, get off me.
that ain't my thing. I need to go cuddle with somebody on the couch.
Yeah.
That's Pepper's thing. Castor, no, don't cuddle with him. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like people. Well, I shouldn't say he doesn't like people. He doesn't like the attention that people give him.
And it's kind of like if you're on stage and you're not super comfortable with being on stage and you're by yourself when it's just one dog because all the spotlight is on you. Mm-hmm. But if you're on stage with 10 other people, it's totally different.
It's easier to disappear. And that's the only purpose that we recommend getting a second dog. For that dog that's a wallflower, when we had Castor, and we had Pepper, but Pepper, he's small, he kind of got lost. He's been blind since he was 2, so he's not the best example to use. But when we got Morgan, our Mastiff, who is a social butterfly, Castor actually started to emerge when we had people over. Before, he would disappear. You wouldn't see him. He'd go upstairs and he'd sit in his cage or his dog room and he just wouldn't come out. And that was okay with him. That was his comfort level. That was his choice. We didn't force him to do that. He wanted to. When we got Morgan, because she was a social butterfly, people wanted to give her all the attention, and Castor could watch.
Yeah, he could observe. He could observe.
Yeah.
Watch how
be
other
present,
people exactly.
But not be in the spotlight.
Right.
So that's the only time we recommend getting a second dog, just to help the other dogs' confidence and acceptability in the family. Because when you only have one dog, all eyes are on that dog, and people go in like, and that's exactly how the dog perceives
Can
it.
I pet your dog?
Right? And the dog's
no,
bug-eyed, like, no. And then it just leads to bad things where the dog feels pressured that he has to make a statement like growling, nipping, or biting, and then it's not fair to the dog. So that's the only time. If your dog's unruly, should you never get a second dog? That's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying. We're saying fix the communication issues you have with that one dog. Get those crazy imbalances in check, and then add a second dog. Because if your first dog's well trained and has that communication, that like you're on the same page, you guys get each other, your dog sits when you need it to sit, it goes and lays down when you need it to go lay down, it's not jumping on people. When you have that kind of relationship and you add a second dog,
those are the behaviors that are learned.
You don't have to do anything with that second dog.
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back. You have to do a little bit. But your other dog does most of the training with that second dog, good or bad.
A lot of it.
So if you do all that good training and then you get a second dog, you just gotta be like, do what Bob says. Bob's doing great. I've never met a dog named Bob. I don't know why I threw that name out there.
I haven't met a dog named Gerald, though.
I've met a dog named Frank and Gilbert and what was the other name?
That's a really human name for a dog.
Yeah.
I think Gerald has been my topper.
Yeah, Gerald's a good one. That's a good one. I've had somebody name their dog after me, Krystal.
Creepy.
I'm honored. I just don't think that's the best dog name. But yeah, so that's the only time we recommend getting a second dog. When you have a wallflower or your unruly dog is now well trained.
Yeah. Whatever behavior your current dog is giving you is going to most likely be amplified if you get another dog.
Yeah.
Good or bad?
And it seems like simple math would just be like double the trouble, but it's like quadruple the trouble.
Exponentially
Yeah,
worse.
I don't know how it works. I'm not good with math. That's him. But it does not. It's not doubled. I'll tell you that. It's way worse.
For sure. For sure.
And it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier until we have like families contact us and they have 5 dogs who are not trained and they're like,
They're ready to get rid of all of them.
help. Or they're ready to move out of their own house. They're like, I'm just going to leave the dogs here and go somewhere else. And it's sad because we can totally help you not live that stressful life before you call us. Like, just call us right away. And then you don't have to spend years stressing every day about the dogs in your house. So
yeah. So speak the language before you get a second exchange student.
Yes.
Cool. Any other final thoughts or notes? I think this might be one of our shortest ones.
This is amazing. 7 o'clock works for us. I think it's the wine. It helped me get clearer to the point.
You had one. Next week, I'm having wine. Join us for a glass of wine next week, 7:30.
Hopefully I'll have a red. It's my fave.
Ooh.
All right, guys, I'm Krystal. This is my husband, Eric. If you like this video or you have a friend or family member who has an unruly dog and is questioning whether they should get another dog, share this with them. You could be that person that saves a stressful relationship from happening.
Could save a life.
Really. I mean, unfortunately, we get so many people who have an unruly dog, get another dog, and then it gets serious. Now there's dog fights or there's human bites, and it could have all been prevented from just focusing on not one dog to begin with, fixing all those behaviors, and then adding another. So
I was just trying to be extreme, and then you brought it around. I'm like, well, yeah, you really could save a life. So definitely share this video. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, save a life. No. But it's true. I mean, dog training is a simple concept, but dogs are animals. And they are unpredictable, and they can do some pretty horrendous things. I mean, they're basically loaded guns. They have a mouthful of sharp teeth. So we can totally help get everything leveled and calm before you add to your pack.
It was almost our shortest video.
Almost our shortest video. All right, guys.
All right,
if you like the video, share it. If you haven't yet and you want to see more of our videos, hit subscribe so you don't miss us next time. We're going live next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. See ya.
See ya. I'm going to go find some
guys.
wine.